Okay, so in this tutorial, we are going to deal with how you can use Python to find the LCM of numbers, LCM of numbers, let's say two numbers or three different numbers, and so on. How you can use LCM to determine something like that. So I've opened this project and I call it tooth, and there is no any file. So let me go ahead and create a Python file. I'll create a Python file and I'll call it LCM just like that. And if you are using something like Sublime Text or Visual Studio Code, you need to add .py. But for me, I'm using PyCharm for add .py. Do well to do that so that the Python interpreter will create like a Python file for it to be able to execute it. So the next thing to do over here is that I need to give the user the ability to type that number or the number that he or she want to find the LCM of it. So if I want to accept input from the user, you do that, and I will assign that to a value, and I'll call this num1. And then num1, I'll send it here. We need integer, but if the user types something, it comes by it comes with it converts it to a string, and we can't do any calculation on a string, so we need to convert it to an integer. So what we do is that we call it typecasting. I will typecast whatever the user will type into an integer, and that is being done by using int, just like this. And I will include it. And to accept input from user using Python, we just use input, just like this. And I will give a prompt for the user to know that you need to type something. So I'll just say, enter the first number. Enter the first number like this. And I will accept the second number. So I will just say num2 is going to be equal to, and I'll typecast it again. That is input, and that is going to be, the prompt is going to be enter the second number. Enter the second number. So just something like this. So what I'll be doing over here is that I'll take the LCM and I will find a certain value. I'll give it a value of 1. Well, don't make it 0. 0 will sometimes worry you. And I will set another variable and call it running, during that the application is still running, and I'll set that to be equal to true for now. And here to continue, I'll be using a while loop to loop through. So I'll just say while, and I'll set the while is running. So while this running is equal to true, this is going to run until it meets a condition in which it will make this running to be false. That's where all the code that will be under this will stop. So I'll just come here, and while running, this is what I need to do. In order to get the LCM of number, here we use what is called modulo. Let me explain it using my whiteboard for you to know what I'm talking about. So now, to get the modulo of something, let's take something like 3. For 3 modulo, 3 mod 2. What it does is that you take this 3 and you divide it by this number. So when you divide it by this number, you are going to get 1 remainder 1. So the remainder becomes the answer for the modulo. So now let's look at something over here. When we take something like k, and we find the mode of k by 2, you know that we are going to, when we divide this k by 2, we are going to get 3 remainder 0. So whenever you find a modulo of a certain number, a certain digit, and you are able to get 0, it means that that number is a factor of it. So here, we have set this to be the LCM. And for the LCM, we are starting from 1. So we are going to increment it and always check if the digit that the user will enter, let's say 4 and 6. So we will check the 4 and the 6. A condition that will meet in which this one, the number, so we start the LCM by 1 and it will increase to 2, and we check for the modulo. If you don't get 0, and we check for the case of, if you don't get 0, we continue and increase it to 3, and it will check again until it reaches a number in which that number, the LCM, or that number that this increment have reached, the modulo of 4 becomes 0, and also the modulo of 6, the modulo of 6 of that number of 6 have also reached 0. It's where we determine the LCM of that number. So now let's try to see how we can implement this in a code. So over here, what I will do is that I will create an if statement to check this. So if num1, so I will just target the LCM. If LCM modulo, and to calculate modulo in Python, we use this percentage sign. If LCM modulo num1 is equal to 0, if it is equal to 0, and here we want to target this condition if it is true, and for the second number also if it is true, before we execute it. If you use or, it will check if this only is true and the next one is true, or the next one is going to, but here we want both cases to be true. That's why I use this keyword and. So and LCM modulo num2 is also equal to 0, like this. So if that is also equal to 0, then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to print out a number. I'm going to print out something. So I will just say print, and what I'm going to print, I'll print the LCM of, and I'll bring comma over here, of num1, and I'll bring another comma and I'll type of num1 and comma also, and I'll say num2. It will combine these as string, and I'll just say if comma, and I'll just give the LCM. And now for this one, after this, it means that we have found the LCM and we don't need to run the code again. So I'll set the running. I'll set the running to be equal to 4. Just like that. I'll set the running to be equal to 4. And each time it goes, what I will do is that I will take the LCM and increment it by 1. So I will just say plus equal 1. You can do this, or you can say LCM is equal to LCM plus 1. But this is too long, so I will go with this conversion, that is plus equals 1. So anytime it's 1, add 1 to it. But if it meets this condition, therefore the code ends here and it won't come to this portion. For now, let's run the code and see how it's looking like. So I will just click here. When you are using this, you can click here. When you are using Sublime Text, you just press Shift and Control B to build. Control B. And when you are using Visual Studio Code, you can see a button, a run button be over here, and you can do that. So for this, I'll right click on it and run it. So you say enter the first number. So I enter number like 12 and enter the second number, something like say, and it says the LCM of 12 and 6 is 12, and it's true that the LCM of 12 and 6 is 12. If I'm to run it again and to change the number, let's say 32 and let's say 14, it calculated it and we are having the LCM of 30. The LCM of 32 and 14 is 224, that is 224. So this is how you can, this is a small code to find the LCM of two numbers. And here you can do a lot with this, in which you can add more numbers to it. I'll come and show you. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's meet in another video in which I'm going to show you awesome things. Bye bye.